Welcome back to another Naruto x Boruto Ninja Voltage video. So for this one, I'm going to talk about Shinobite a little bit, and then we'll also talk about ability points. So if you guys didn't see the previous tips video, I implore you to check that one out. There was one thing I said I would cover in that one, which would be like fortresses and stuff like that, but I didn't get around to it because I kind of forgot, and also the video got long anyway, so I didn't really want to cram a lot of things into one video. So what are Shinobite? Of course, very, very rudimentary stuff. Everybody knows what Shinobite are. Shinobite are basically the stones of this game. You know, the in-game currency, aside from, you know, chakra and Rio, those are the most important, the Shinobite. So Shinobite allow you to summon, and then, you know, of course, by summoning you can get the jutsus and ninja cards for all the different ninjas that you can unlock in the game right now and in the future. So keep that in mind. Of course, again, everybody already knew that, so not really teaching anybody anything new. But as far as that goes, with Shinobite, you can use them to do multiple things. You can use them to force expand your bases. If you get just kind of in a position where you're impatient, you can do that. I don't recommend doing that like ever, because it just seems like a waste to me, like wasting hundreds of Shinobite, 300 right here. It just seems like a waste to me to ever do that. But again, this stuff can take a long time. This one started off taking 3 days to go to base level 14. So, you know, if you're just kind of rolling in Shinobite, I mean, it's an option for you. But again, I don't recommend the average player to do it. Speaking of the average player, let's go back to summons really quick. I recommend that everybody just re-roll, and re-rolling is basically starting the game over and over and over until you start off with a good fresh start. You start off with a ultimate jutsu, right? I would recommend starting off with the ultimate jutsu and one of the 2 heals. I talked about that more in depth in the previous video, so check that out. But an ultimate jutsu will carry you in this game, and even if you don't have an ultimate, a heal jutsu will definitely carry you in the game, specifically Shizune's heal. All right, so keep that in mind. I recommend everybody do that, because what it'll do is it'll save you a lot of time, and it'll help you out when it comes to playing attack missions and requisitely, surprise attack missions in the future. So keep that in mind, okay? So they have a lot of them, and they seem to have picked up the rates, in my opinion. And also they're doing other things like this, where you get 1 4-star guaranteed. 4 stars are cool. They're definitely not ultimates, but they're cool. So you want to keep that in mind as far as that goes. So how can you get Shinobite? That's very easy. You can play special missions, and then by playing special missions, completing details, this one dropped 50, you know, just going on 30 here, and then all the different things, playing co-op, you're able to get 20 there by beating all the enemies. All the different stages at least once drop Shinobite. And common thing is that this is a new game. People got to understand it's a new game. It does not have all the chapters yet that they're going to add. They're only at chapter 6. This is way early in Shippuden, so they have a lot of room for more chapters, right? So keep that in mind. If you play, like I said, keep that in mind like a bunch of times. If you play the game like 6 months from now, you'll have more options, right? So I just want you guys to be aware of that. So that's how you can basically get Shinobite, aside from just going in and spending cash on Shinobite. And you know, Shinobite are very poorly priced, so I just don't really recommend doing it too often. I've done it before, and it sucks when you spend and you don't even pull an ultimate jutsu. So I just be aware that that's a possibility, okay? So aside from that, when it comes down to it, right, Shinobite and how you should manage Shinobite, you can also use them on other things, by the way, such as expanding your Shinobi card list and stuff like that. Speaking of Shinobi cards, in a moment we will kind of go over that a little bit more, because I talked about it in the first video, and I will talk about fortresses and stuff in a different video, but I talked about it there, and I actually pulled in between this video and the previous tips video, so definitely check that video out, by the way. I actually pulled another ultimate jutsu, and I wanted to kind of show off what I was talking about a little bit in the first one. So anyways, you can also use them to, you know, go about expanding and getting more ninja cards. That's not the right area to be in. You can also come to the shop, and I don't recommend doing this because it just seems like a waste. You know, 40 isn't massively like a crazy high amount, but it's enough to where it's like, yeah, not worth doing. Especially when you can come to the Fortress Medal shop and basically get the exact same ones simply by playing the game, right? You get these Fortress Medals by simply playing attack missions, so it's not too bad. And I just don't recommend doing it as far as Shinobite go. So that's all Shinobite are really worth at this point. So they could add more features in the future, of course, but what I would recommend doing with your Shinobite is hoarding them, okay? I already said that I recommend everybody re-rolling and starting off with a fresh start. So what you will have a situation is you'll look like you'll be able to have an ultimate jutsu, you'll be able to have everything that you need, but you'll be able to just sit on your Shinobite until something very powerful comes out. You know, maybe whenever a new banner drops, you do 1 multi-summon, and then you're good from there. You just don't blow everything you have, right? Now, eventually that may catch up to you, so you'll probably have to skip some banners every now and again, unless they're being generous, because they have been pretty generous, I would say, in the last couple of weeks with the different campaigns they've had. You know, they had one position where they gave out like 200 Shinobite, and then they have maintenance sometimes, which they only give 3 Shinobite for that. It is what it is. 3 isn't so much, but typically daily you get about 5 from logging in, from what I've seen since launch. I've played since launch. And then sometimes they have a position where you're able to get 50 upon logging in, so that's pretty cool too. And of course, by playing the missions, or excuse me, by completing the achievements daily, you're able to get 3 Shinobite. On top of that, by completing just regular achievements, you can get Shinobite as well. Just sit on them, guys. Just don't go in and spend them all, because you will wind up disappointed. Unless you wind up pulling exactly what you want, which is very unlikely in a game like this, you'll wind up disappointed. And I can't say that enough, because you want to have the options. Maybe just don't let yourself dip below like 500 Shinobite at any point in this game, really. Once you build it up a little bit, just don't wait, and or do wait, excuse me, and don't blow it all. So that's just kind of how I wanted to position that, because I don't want, you know, a position where, you know, a lot of people are just leaving the game or upset because they don't have Shinobite to pull. And of course, they will continue to launch new characters. With new characters means new ultimate jutsus and stuff like that. So it'll get pretty tempting down the road, but it's totally up to you. I just wanted to give you guys, you know, the avenue, right? So aside from that, if we come over to synthesizing, so here's one of the things. In fact, I need to come over to Itachi first, and I'm going to take his jutsus off of him. So right now he has 59,000 power. I'm not done getting him up another level, but as you see, I did pull another Tsukuyomi. It was just a random YOLO summon, and I was really just hoping for his Shuriken jutsu, to be honest, or his Fireball jutsu, and it just dropped that, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. It was just a random single, and just that's how I pulled. You know, the funny thing, when I spent just like $100 or $150 or whatever on this game, I couldn't pull a single ultimate. But the second I stopped spending is when I started pulling ultimates. It's really weird, but yeah, so just, I guess I'm just not spending on the game too much anymore. But if you come over here, what I wanted to show was synthesizing. I wanted to pull up Itachi's. So again, for more context, make sure that you check out the previous video. So this one's a 6-star rarity, okay, because I've already upgraded it to 6 stars. The other one is a 5-star rarity, because that's how ultimates are when you pull them. This will bounce this jutsu level up to level 3, right? Level 3 jutsu, its crit power goes up and the regular power goes up, the crit percentage and power. So, excuse me, that'll make this a lot stronger, but I don't even recommend doing this. And of course, if I do it the other way around, it's not going to be as substantial, because it's just not the same. Only level 2 if you do it that way, by the way. I don't recommend doing this, and here's why. Because I talked about this in the previous video. If you come to sell, okay, if you come to sell and you just outright sell off one of your jutsus, the 5 stars worth 10,000, this one's worth 5,000, because probably because it's an upgraded 4-star, but 10,000. But if you upgrade these jutsu dupes that you pull into a 6-star, it's worth a lot more, you see. So if you come over here, I would recommend just selling them. To be completely honest, I'd recommend selling them or holding them, so you can increase the power of your shinobi like I was doing initially by equipping both of them. But I would recommend selling them, because you're able to get all of those ninja points or ability points, and ability points are more substantial in this game. They are more beneficial because they allow you to come to your shinobi and say, hey, I want to make you a lot better. How can I do that, right? Abilities, all right, cool. Now that I have all those points, I can use so many different abilities for this guy. I can just grab all these if I want to, and I'm gonna actually wait till he's 5-star to get him some more better ones. But you know, you can do that, and it gives you a lot more viability, and he winds up being better overall. And you find out that you don't really need that, you know, duplicate or the level increase on the ultimate jutsu. Now, the thing about that is that that could change in the future. You know, they may implement something where the, you know, they have a different usage for duplicate cards or something of that nature. And if that becomes the case, maybe that may not be exactly what you want to do anymore. You don't want to sell them anymore. Or, you know, down the line when people have 200k power, you know, and you need to be able to have higher levels on your jutsu, maybe you don't want to do that, you know. Maybe you need to increase a level. So do it with that in mind. If you sell a card, do it with that in mind, okay? I just wanted to point that out to you guys. And the same thing applies to like the other card rarities. You can do the exact same thing for all the different rarities, but it's most prevalent and most potent if you do it with an ultimate jutsu. So that's why I wanted to show that to you guys and point that out and give you guys the option. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this Ninja Voltage tips video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe if you happen to be new. Any feedback, comments, questions, let me know in the comments down below. Hashtag Cronin if you guys made it to the end of the video. Anyways, thank you guys for the continued support, and I'll catch you guys in the next Naruto x Boruto Ninja Voltage video. Take it easy, guys.